And they can't claim the European shit because even Europeans is looking at this shit sideways. Like, no, that's not love. He likes children. Like, I wish every American could like go to a foreign country and listen to how they talk about us. Just I spy how they talk about Americans. It's funny. We are the stupidest mother on the earth if you listen to everybody else in the world. And I can't say that I blame them because we sit here and we keep falling for the same nut ass shit over and over and over and over again. Ain't nobody asked what the fuck Barack Obama was doing hanging out with Jay-Z. Like you're not JFK. You're Barack Obama. You're not JFK. What the fuck you doing running around with the Rat Pack? What you doing? Cause we know. They was at the Diddy party. Y'all always raved about all the fun times you spent with the Carters. You know what I'm saying? That bitch high. Like Kim Burrell said that Jay-Z called her and asked her to come and minister to his wife, who was locked in a room for 12 hours, listening to Kim Burrell records, rocking back and forth and shit. I guess she was trying to break the spell. I don't know. But when you gotta call an evangelist to help talk your wife out the room, I don't know. Hey, they didn't have, like, they couldn't call the Obamas and get some marital advice on how to, make it work. They're important people.
They got daughters too.
Who got daughters?
The Obamas.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry. So
have you seen their wardrobes? At least they thicker than some of them other kids. Cause that damn Aoki, seeing that Aoki with that old ass man.
Oh. Yeah, okay. No, so Jack, here.
What was worse than that was hearing her father saying, your titties ain't big enough to be a sugar baby. Like, that's how you talk your daughter? Oh, like, how you gonna say that? How you say that to your girl? Like,
man.
Dad, if you don't put my allowance back to the normal, I'm gonna become a sugar baby. Your titties ain't big enough to be a sugar baby, bitch. Shut up. Like,
the conversation around Jaguar Wright's bold claims has sparked heated debate. Jaguar Wright, a singer known for speaking her mind, recently took a swipe at Barack and Michelle Obama's alleged ties to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. And let's just say, she did not hold back her fiery commentary, has everyone wondering what exactly are these relationships, and why is no one questioning them?
Like, who talks like that to their daughter?
Yeah. So,
and that's where Usher went to get a blessing after he got engaged.
Yeah. To
that androgynous-looking female. She almost look as masculine as
kids opened up your thesaurus and your dictionaries.
They say I curse too much. This is what it's like when I use real words.
I know, shit.
So it's like, these motherfuckers is weird.
So
I'm just trying to I'm looping it all back in because I think I got to get back to the Me Too.
Yeah, okay.
Because isn't one of them bitches a doctor? Yeah, the Tyrena girl with the pizza face. Ain't that her name, the Tyrena?
KRS tweets, God.
She's the fucking haterade is what she is. See, I got her number.
Diddy used to sell Proactive Solution.
Listen to me. And look at what it did for Alicia Keys. Next to nothing. Because I just see somebody that said they'd seen her. And they said that shit was Mount St. Helens all over again, like volcanoes everywhere. She on that Puff Daddy acne cream. Rub it in, no Diddy.
The download. No. All right,
see, she probably would have got clear with the Nature Boy because at least they was vegan, you know.
You're gonna circle back to the Me Too.
Diddy like that pork.
We can't save everybody. We can't save everybody. So, as you're about to circle back to the Me Too, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
But go ahead, because
pizza faces. Tyrena. Now she got a doctorate. Don't she? Look at who face is that?
Yeah.
The pizza.
Man, the pizza.
I'm telling you, that's sausage and peppers.
Shout out to Zalat.
That's sausage and peppers right there. The texture even adds up. Fuck that ugly bitch. I can see why she did this shit, yo. Cause she fucking hate all of them bitches cause she wished somebody would have wanted to assault her. You know, it's the bitches I really don't like. You can look at her. You can look. Look at that.
Praying for assault is wild. That's nasty.
Look at that. That look like prosthetic. But it's looking. How you trust a bitch with a face like that? I just want to know. Cause as far as she concerned, God lied to her. She gonna lie to everybody else. Look at her ass. Like an ugly bitch. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
You're Barack Obama. You're not JFK. What are you doing hanging around with the Rat Pack Jaguars? Words cut through the noise like a sharp blade. Think about it. For a second, the Obamas are political royalty. Barack Obama served as president of the United States for 2 terms. He's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. And yet here he is, according to Jaguar, hanging out with figures like Jay-Z and Beyoncé, SE, who represent a completely different cultural sphere. To her, this is baffling. Why is the former president rubbing shoulders at parties that allegedly include people like Shaw Diddy Combs, whose circles have been whispered about for years?
Goomba actually leaves from Dallas to go ahead and make a trek to go get you. He's like, let me just damn the plane, whatever that is.
We were trying to meet in Little Rock.
Right.
But we couldn't find a driver in time.
Right. So it's a full
So
ride.
instead, we just needed to get out.
Yeah.
Of Chicago, because I realized at that point in time that they had thrown a net over the city.
Right.
Because when I was walking out after the cameras went off the second time and I said, it looks like I'm not leaving Chicago today. And one of the officers, the officer Morrow, his response was, thank goodness.
Man.
I turned around and I looked at him and I said, keeping me here is only guaranteeing that there's gonna be more dead bodies in Chicago by nightfall. You just guarantee somebody's most likely gonna die tonight. And he said, as long as you're here.
Yeah. So.
They walked me all the way to baggage claim. They walked behind me like I was enemy number 1.
Oh yeah, no, there was
I'm sitting there walking through the airport. I'm a scary black lady. I come to kill you. Look at all of this. I walked up with a little kid. I'm gonna kill you. I'm a black person.
Wait. So you're in the airport. Don't you feel like I'm doing a lot in the airport? Like, cause
you no fuck.
Damn, you know.
Goddamn fucking bus station with fucking flying apparatuses and shit.
But you know,
fuck.
Federal gets involved.
Fuck America. Fuck the feds. I got a Fed fucking file. So what? I got a Fed file. I've had a Fed file since I was a teenager, and y'all motherfuckers know it. That's why y'all let somebody crack my shit open 2.5 years ago.
Ooh, whole nother story.
And I was a fucking victim, yo.
Oh wow.
Fuck you going through a victim's federal file for?
Oh wow.
After fucking what was done to me, after what happened to me in the trunk of that fucking car. The only motherfuckers that can get federal fucking documents to be opened and unsealed from fucking minors from goddamn over 20 years ago are people with heavy political ties. But you know, Mr. Sean Carter is friends with Barack Obama. It's from Chicago.
Now, before you dismiss this as wild speculation, let's unpack it. Barack and Michelle Obama have had a well-documented friendship with the Carters, Jay-Z and Bey for years. Jay-Z even performed at Obama's 2008 presidential campaign rally in Ohio, and Bey famously sang at his 2013 inauguration. That's history. But Jaguar raises a provocative point. Are these friendships as innocent as they appear, or is there more beneath the surface?
audio problems, you could see she pulled out her earpiece at one point during singing, but you would not have known from her performance that she was struggling on any level.
Jaguar's reference to did parties isn't just casual gossip. For years, rumors have circulated about what happens behind the closed doors of those exclusive gatherings, whispers of wild behavior, secrecy, and troubling allegations. Jaguar doesn't mince words when she brings up these parties and the presence of high-profile individuals. She's essentially asking, why are the Obamas, who should embody integrity and leadership, hanging out in the same circles as people allegedly tied to questionable behavior?
The president has an iPod, but it's also because both of them tell an American story. Now, Jay-Z, I love you back. I told Jay-Z the other day, our lives are parallel. Nobody, I think, would expect us to be where we are today when they met us as younger men. Both of us now have daughters, and both of us have wives who are more popular than we are.
She also touches on a bizarre story involving Beyoncé. Jaguar claims that Kim Burrell, a gospel singer, was once called by Jay-Z to help Beyoncé, who was reportedly locked in a room for 12 hours rocking back and forth while listening to gospel records. The imagery alone is enough to raise eyebrows. If this is true, what on earth was happening there? And why would someone like Beyoncé, one of the world's most powerful and seemingly untouchable figures, find herself in such a state? Jaguar's tone suggests something darker, something more sinister lurking behind the curtain of celebrity perfection.
I didn't like the idea that you became truncated into this hating person when I knew from my experience that I would be very pressed to find somebody that cares more than Kim Burrell.
Well, you know what was hurtful is that church people started to jump on the bandwagon of what secular people's description of it was. And I think I did cry one day, and I cried one day. The one day that I cried is when I realized that the frontline social world known church was not as strong toward me or strong toward the word that I spoke, to defend the word. Not enough people defended it. There were some gospel artists, some well-known ones, who went public that I've worked very hard not to hold anything in my heart. And my feelings, I still hold it, because they went for so long giving me one thing, but then the truth came out about their feelings concerning whatever, and they kind of jumped on the bandwagon of the famous people. I think that's because they desire to be more famous than kingdom-minded. Now that's my opinion about them.
I got you.
And so I appreciate that perspective, because that is so true. That's from someone who has known me very, very long, and I'm still the same. I love people. People don't even know that I housed homosexual people in my home, and I would today. But one thing I will never do is stop loving people, and I will never not tell the truth of what it is I know. You know, the Constitution is one thing for America, but my Constitution also includes the Bible. And I'm going to always stand on the Constitution of the Word of God. And I feel better doing that than thinking that I missed out on an Ellen experience. I don't know if I should have made it to Ellen, because I probably would have ended up embarrassing the church or embarrassing somebody, because I would say, Ellen, do you know the Lord? And I probably would have interviewed her about her relationship with God had we sat down, because that's my driving force. I love God. People can do whatever. A lot of people, I came off the internet, so there's a lot I don't know about what people said. And I've prayed for the ones that I've...
You came off the internet?
Yeah, I didn't go on social media at all. I wouldn't read it or nothing. Like January 1st, I was off. My family wouldn't let me read. They took my phones, nothing. They were like, no, this needs to go away. And then my brother was stricken with a stroke that eventually took his life 2 weeks later.
Wow.
And so my life was so involved in trying to watch him. He was only 50 years old. He was my mother's firstborn. And the brother that I grew up with, he named me. So my life went into that. And I didn't pay attention to... And I'm going to tell you what really helped me. I flew out to L.A., and Kevin was still in ICU. And I went to go meet with Jay-Z. And it was quietly kept because I've always done my business like that. But anyway, Jay-Z called me. He says, Kim, I always know when Beyonce is going through something emotional or spiritual because I always hear you. She plays you really loudly through the house.
Whoa.
So he says, this time I need that, Kim. And will you come to LA? I said, yeah, it's no problem. So I asked my brother before I left him, I said, I got to go see Jay-Z. He said, yeah, much success. His final words to me, actually. So I fly to LA. We sit and talk for 2 hours. I found out so much about Jay-Z that blessed me that I'll always support him as a person. So the church can jump on the bandwagon and say whatever they'd like. And then I've got 2 songs coming out on Bible of Love, Snoop Dogg's new record. And he's one of the most pleasant people you ever wanted to meet.
And here's the kicker. Jaguar challenges us to think about these relationships with fresh eyes. She notes how Americans tend to idolize celebrities and politicians. Without question, we sit here and we keep falling for the same nut-ass stuff over and over again. She says to her, it's almost comical how easily people accept the narrative presented to them. The Obamas are revered figures. Bay-Z and Beyoncé are icons. But what happens when those worlds collide? Is it all about power, influence, and money, or is there something deeper going on?
Before the fall. I've heard that somewhere.
Well,
but I want to say that does not minimize the actually existing cases or charges against these individuals. All right, but let's keep our eye on the prize, on what's really going on here.
They only put compromised pawns on the chessboard to begin with, so they can snatch them up at any time. So Welsh Gold is saying, do you think many major restructuring will happen in other spheres, like a general takedown of power in hip-hop and more?
Power? You mean electronic power? I don't understand the question exactly.
Hold on, I've deleted it. Asking about the extent of the restructuring, really, and the change of the power dynamics.
Oh, it's going to be radical. Yeah, it's going to be VR. I mean, we've been set up for it from different directions already, right? We in the popular culture we have a concept with a non-role playing, non-active character. What is it, NPC? Yeah, that's us. That's humanity, right? It's going to go Avatar. It's going to go. There's a company in San Francisco. It's called Linden Labs. Yeah, they have a game called. It's not really a game anymore. It's called Second Life. So that's going to be done in all the areas. This is also going to put the adult industry, as we know it, out of business, because that's a big earner. And you can go ahead.
All right, so this hostile takeover is through the pawns on the chessboard. We've seen Diddy fall. We're seeing the beginning of Jay-Z falling. It seems like it's spreading by association, and Jay-Z's biggest association is with Beyonce. So does it go to her next?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who else? What other names are out there? Is it?
Was that a yes? Was that a yes?
Oh, is she next? I have no idea. Yeah, that's a good guess.
You're suggesting Rihanna?
Her, Jennifer Lopez, anybody who's been romantically linked or married, quote unquote, or polyamorously associated with the gentleman that you referenced already, are probably going to be ensnared. They're going to be brought down. But the tragedy is that there's innumerable men and women, young people, who are there just waiting to replace them. It's an endless supply. And who's going to control it?
Let's pivot for a second. Jaguar's commentary extends Beyoncé, just the Obamas and the Carters. She brings up the Me Too movement and individuals who became its faces. She singles out specific people with brutal cutting humor, while the names she drops are delivered with her signature wit and sarcasm. There's a larger point here. Who decides who gets to lead these cultural movements, who gets to be the face of social justice or women's empowerment? Jaguar argues that some of these figures aren't as righteous as they appear, and to her this is part of a broader pattern: powerful people getting away with questionable behavior, while ordinary folks look on in confusion or silence.
Bad Boy Records, that's for sure. And what is Sean Combs' label? That's Bad Boy, right? And Jay-Z's label is what? I can't remember already.
Rock Nation or something like
Rock Nation, right?
Yeah.
It's always something cool and bad, which was part of the build-up phase. Now we're in the takedown phase. Oh yeah.
Fall a hell of a lot harder and faster than they go up. So Ivory Courts, do you think the three entities, the church, hip-hop, and the government, are experiencing the same thing in this power struggle?
You mean so far as takedowns are concerned? I think if you're talking about the church, Catholic Church, I think it's sustained its biggest hit about as recently as 5 years. That seems to have died down. I don't know if there's been really any internal reform, and I am doubtful that there'll be any long-lasting change, because I agree with the formulation of a thinker by the name of Jean Michels. He calls it the iron law of oligarchy. Where you have oligarchy, you will have, by definition, the concentration of power. And with the concentration of power, you're going to have the abuse of such. So our best strategy, if we want to survive this, is to do our own thing. That was one of the sayings in the 60s, do your thing. And they said, okay, we're all going to do our things, but we're going to do it under Sony. Right? We're going to do it under Tommy Mottola. We're going to do it under so-and-so. I mean, there's all kinds of figures whose names we can talk about here. That's oligopoly. So our task as everyday people is to come up with cultural expressive forms that are by us and for our own communities. Who says we have to go on a multi-nation tour in order to be a legitimate artist like quote-unquote Taylor Swift? I say quote-unquote because she's a construct too. And she's had her struggles with the publishing companies. I mean, she re-recorded her album so that she could own them. Right? People know about Prince and what happened to Michael Jackson, but Taylor Swift went through the same process. So what I'm talking about, a total takedown here, is going to eliminate the possibility of these controversies. And especially if someone appears to be getting over on these cartels, these oligopolistic banking families. So if Taylor Swift continues to succeed based on her model and her challenge of the existing music publication system, she needs to have some very, very savvy advisors behind her now, because they'll wait. They waited for Michael Jackson at his point of vulnerability. They waited. Sony waited on. I'm not saying they're responsible for his death, but they waited for the right time where they could take everything that he owned. That's how oligopolies work, and they're transgenerational. So if you got a number on your back, they have it recorded somewhere.
So could you just, like, in layman's terms, explain why there's a target on Taylor Swift now then?
Well, most immediately it's because she recorded her entire, that's unprecedented in recording history.
Let's circle back to the Obamas and Jay-Z for a moment, because that's where Jaguar's argument gets particularly interesting. Barack Obama, during his presidency, cultivated an image of being down to earth and relatable. His friendship with celebrities like Jay-Z was often portrayed as evidence of his cool, modern appeal. But Jaguar isn't buying it. To her, this isn't about being cool. It's about the company you keep, and the company, according to her, doesn't add up.